The UFC has always been fierce, but there's only a handful of men that are able to dominate the competition and make a name for themselves. And when it comes to Alexander Volkanovski, he not only has managed to be one of the best UFC fighters, but the very best pound-for-pound fighter in the entire organization today. Join us today as we're going to dive deep into the amazing journey of Alexander Volkanovski to become the UFC's greatest. Volkanovski was born in Wollongong, New South Wales, on September 29, 1988. His father was born in the region of Barranci, which is now North Macedonia, and his mother is Greek. So he has the identity of both a Macedonian father and a Greek mother. Alex began Greco-Roman wrestling at a young age and won a national title twice before the age of 12. And that was Volkanovski's first step towards his success. At the age of 14, he chose to give up wrestling and pursue a career as a front rower in rugby league. Yes, he started to compete as a front rower in rugby, but earned his way up. Volkanovski attended Lake Illawarra High School during his adolescence, and thereafter worked as a concreter there. He was a semi-professional rugby league footballer with the Warilla Gorillas in the South Coast Rugby League, where he won the Mick Cronin Medal as the league's top player in 2010. Winning a medal while you're a newbie isn't that easy, but Volkanovski somehow managed to register his name on the list. He also played an important role in Warilla's premiership winning season in 2011, and was named Man of the Match in his team's grand final triumph over Gerringong, thanks to his passion, attitude, and concentration, making his rugby career very short but full of mastery and success. Talking about his family, Volkanovski is the father of 2 girls. He was a coach in the amateur MMA reality program Malaysia Invasion. Because of his paternal Macedonian and maternal Greek ancestry, he adopts the moniker The Great in honor of Alexander the Great, stating that he had a Macedonian father and a Greek mother like himself. You can say that he is something of a Greek god himself. In the latter part of 2011, Volkanovski opted to leave rugby league at the age of 23 to seek a professional career in mixed martial arts. This decision turned out to be his best decision, and this is all because he claims to have been a fan of the Ultimate Fighting Championship events since he was a youngster, frequently renting UFC VHS recordings from Blockbuster and purchasing UFC pay-per-views from the age of 14. Watching UFC fights regularly and dreaming to become better one day was the key spark that kept on pushing him to prepare for glory. Volkanovski began training in MMA and Greco-Roman wrestling at the age of 22 to stay healthy during the rugby league offseason, according to coach Joe Lopez, when he weighed 97 kilograms, 214 pounds. He quickly recognized, however, that he had a love for the sport and decided to go as far as he could. That is a sign of brilliance and gave him the future that he wanted. Volkanovski immediately established himself as a strong counter-puncher with a powerful overhand right, as well as a terrific offensive wrestler because of his Greco-Roman background that gave him an extra push. Before going professional and dropping down to welterweight, lightweight, and finally featherweight, he participated in several amateur fights in the middleweight class while he adjusted from his rugby weight. Beginning as an amateur in middleweight and going 4-0 before turning professional, Volkanovski fought in several MMA organizations in the Oceania area of Asia from 2012 to July 2016 before signing with the UFC. And that's where his MMA career took off from. He won 2 Australian Fighting Championship featherweight titles as well as a Pacific Extreme Combat title. Prior to entering the UFC, Volkanovski had a 13-1 record with 10 straight wins. Volkanovski made his UFC debut in the lightweight division on November 26, 2016, and extended his winning streak to 11 with a second-round TKO of Yusuf Kasuya at UFC Fight Night 101. That was a very nerve-wracking match that became a highlight for months. At the post-fight press conference, he declared that he will move from lightweight to featherweight for his next bout, and featherweight turned out to be a different story. Volkanovski returned to featherweight and faced Mizuto Hirota at UFC Fight Night 110 on June 11, 2017. He won by unanimous decision after nearly finishing Hirota just after a knockdown. Volkanovski was scheduled to meet Jeremy Kennedy on November 19, 2017 at UFC Fight Night Werdum vs. Tiburon in Sydney, Australia. However, Kennedy withdrew from the fight on October 5 due to a back ailment and was replaced by Humberto Bandeira. and then Bandonet's UFC debut at this event was postponed due to unspecified circumstances in November 2017, and he was replaced by Drek Zambawanga. But that didn't work either due to visa concerns, so Zambawanga withdrew from the bout and was replaced by promotional rookie Shane Young. The fight took place at a catchweight of 150 pounds. Volkanovski was victorious by unanimous decision. The fight with Kennedy was rescheduled to February 11, 2018, at UFC 221. In that fight, Volkanovski gave his Australian fans a thrill with a dominant win over the previously unbeaten Jeremy Kennedy. He used takedowns to lead a heavy ground and pound against Kennedy, and finally handed him the first loss of his undefeated pro career with a TKO, with just 3 seconds left in the second round. Volkanovski fought Darren Elkins at UFC Fight Night 133 on July 14, 2018, and again, he was victorious by unanimous decision. Here we can say that unanimity has been a major factor in Volkanovski's career. Volkanovski fought Chad Mendes at UFC 232 on December 29, 2018, and this match was a very close contest. After surviving 2 knockdowns, Volkanovski won the bout via technical knockout in round 2. This bout earned him the Fight of the Night bonus thanks to the unexpected results that stunned everybody. After that, Volkanovski squared up against former featherweight champion Jose Aldo at UFC 237 on May 11, 2019. Again, Volkanovski defeated Jose Aldo via unanimous decision in the main card of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. In this thrilling match, Volkanovski outpointed Aldo through 3 tactical rounds at UFC 237 and added another win to his winning streak. Volkanovski's reign began with the first ever victory against Max Holloway when he defeated the Star on December 14, 2019 at UFC 245. The Australian fighter torched Holloway with a UFC record number of leg kicks and claimed a unanimous decision on the judges' scorecards. 2 judges scored it 48-47 for Volkanovski, and the third had it 50-45. And surprisingly, that was Volkanovski's first UFC championship fight.
48-47, 48-47, and 50-45 for the winner by unanimous decision, and new undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, Alexander the Great
Look, I just want to say we've had great champions in this division. Aldo, great respectful champion. Max, great respectful champion. I promise to be a great champion too.
And then Volkanovski defended his championship for the first time against Max Holloway on July 11, 2020 at UFC 251, winning the bout by unanimous decision. This result sparked debate among media sources, with 18 out of 27 media sources favoring Holloway, including mixed martial arts luminaries such as UFC President Dana White, former referee and rules system designer John McCarthy, and other mixed martial artists, but the results remained unchanged. Volkanovski was set to defend his championship against Brian Ortega at UFC 260 on March 27, 2021. The bout, however, was canceled due to COVID-19 guidelines because there was a surge in COVID-19 cases at that time, and another shocking news was later revealed on Twitter that Volkanovski had tested positive for COVID-19. Brian Ortega and Volkanovski were confirmed as the coaches for The Ultimate Fighter 29 on ESPN Plus on April 2, 2021. Volkanovski fought Brian Ortega for the UFC Featherweight Championship on September 25, 2021 at UFC 266. He was again victorious by unanimous decision and was universally lauded for surviving many submission attempts and persisting. This bout earned him the Fight of the Night bonus, adding to 2 Fight of the Night bonuses in his journey.
You're a Terminator, Alexander Volkanovski. How do you fight with such a high pace and fight so smart at the same time?
Man, I was going to say, the preparation, I told you. I do that every time. I'm a normal human being. I've said it time and time again. Just hard work got to me where I am. Anyone can do what I've done. Anyone. Sky's the limit for any of you.
Volkanovski was set to face Max Holloway for the 3rd time at UFC 272 on March 5, 2022. Holloway, however, was forced to withdraw from the bout a day after the announcement due to an injury and was replaced by Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie. The championship fight was rescheduled to April 9, 2022 at UFC 273, and their Volkanovski won the fight by TKO in the 4th round after controlling most of the fight and knocking down the Zombie 3 times.
Mate, I told you before this fight all week, I said I'm on another level right now. I can't be stopped, and I just showed you. He actually took a lot more than I wanted him to. I thought that they could have stopped a bit earlier. I started feeling bad in there, but that's the sport we're in.
The trilogy fight versus Holloway was rescheduled for UFC 276 on July 2, 2022. Volkanovski won the fight by unanimous decision as he won, with all 3 judges scoring it 50-45 for him. Now, with all those hard years in fights, the UFC's pound-for-pound best and featherweight king is ready to make his lightweight comeback after being signed as a title challenger for Islam Makhachev, who just won the lightweight championship against Charles Oliveira at UFC 280. Volkanovski's coach, Joe Lopez, spoke with Submission Radio before their forthcoming battle and provided his thoughts on the match. While analyzing the battle, the instructor recalled an event that occurred during the great's early years of training.
Well, I mean, Alex's first 2 or 3 fights were at middleweight, you know?
Yeah.
And he had to cut to get to middleweight, you know? And I always remember his first fight, you know, we got to the venue before everybody else, and we're standing out the front, and the guy he was fighting was at the door at the same time we got there. And I looked at the guy and I said, there's no way we're fighting this guy. This guy's too big. And they looked at us, and this guy had, you know, all the neck tattoos. He was looked like a bad man, you know, and he looked at us and he goes, I'm not fighting him, he's too small. And lo and behold, it was that guy, you know.
Alexander Volkanovski has expressed trust in his abilities to compete for the lightweight world title against Islam Makhachev. We don't know what will happen in that bout, but we do know that the Great will be a difficult opponent for Makhachev. And this most awaited fight is scheduled for UFC 284 in his home country of Australia. As expected, this fight is going to be one of the most thrilling fights of his career to date, where the world will witness the class and the vigor of one of the greatest warriors in history. That is it from today's video. We hope you enjoyed the content of the video. If you did, show some love and hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you never miss out on any of the amazing videos we have in store for you.